What's the best thing to take your mind off a really disappointing DNF? Well, the answer is simple. Discover a new, unexpected hobby that came straight out of the blue. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. You're with Chris, and today I'll be wrapping up yet another week as we pass the halfway mark for Feb. This week saw me back at work after a much needed break, so everything is back to normal, and I didn't get a lot of reading done as I normally would because something that came to my attention very suddenly was a new hobby that can become potentially really addictive, and I'll talk about that shortly. But firstly, I put up my review video for Crosshairs by James Patterson and James Osborn, the 16th book in the Michael Bennett NYPD detective series, and I was really happy that I enjoyed this one. I had my doubts picking up the book. I thought, is this going to be any good? Because I did not like the last book, and it was going to be a deal breaker. If this book wasn't any good, I was going to quit the series, and I'm glad that this book was really good because there is a fresh new character who I think will be really great for the series moving forward if they continue to keep him in. It was a hell of a debut for this new refreshing character who can be one of Michael Bennett's best partners ever. There's a fairly big age gap, but I think that works really well. If you haven't seen that video, do check it out because I do rave about the book rather than rant about it. Alright, let's get the DNF out of the way. I read most of Smoker on the Porch by Don Watson. I was going to review this one, but ended up not reviewing it because there wasn't a lot I have to say about it. It started off okay, but then the lines between reality and Watson's world were very blurred. It had potential, but it just got really messy, and I started to dislike many of the characters. And things just weren't clear. I mean, a prologue about the antagonist's backstory would have helped a lot so that the weirdness and mindfuckery wouldn't ruin things, but I just couldn't finish it in the end. No disrespect to Don Watson, but it just wasn't my cup of tea, and keeping up with characters and the character shifts in point of view weren't really clear either. The lines were very blurry there, and if you're going to self-publish a book, just make sure you get a good line edit because there are a lot of errors in it, and I expect if I'm going to read a book, just get a line edit done so that it's actually a bit more professional. But that's all I'm going to say about that one. It ate up a few days during the week, and I felt really disappointed because I did want to enjoy it, but just didn't end up enjoying it at all. And the thing was, when I read the first few pages in a sample before I bought the book, I thought, this sounds really good. But then as time goes on, it just went into decline because it just wasn't my cup of tea. But that's all I'm saying on that one. Okay, now this week I have been continuing with The Well of Ascension, book number 2 in the Mistborn trilogy by Mr. Brandon Sanderson. I am really enjoying it, even though I'm moving through it slowly. The book did start off a little bit slow, but as I get to the halfway mark, things are ramping up, and characteristically and historically, I usually speed up my reading as things begin to ramp up because I have to find out what happens, and things are starting to really happen now. And I haven't gotten through as much as I planned to this week, but there's a very good reason for that, and which moves me to the next part of this video. I want to talk about book Nooks. My awesome little brother sent me a belated birthday present for my 50th. It was from Amazon, and he texted me and said, "Have you received a parcel yet?" I'm like, "No," and apparently it was hidden by the delivery person, so I actually found it, opened it, and discovered to my delight that he had bought me a book Nook. Now, if you don't know what these things are, they're like a mini diorama where they fit as a bookend on your bookshelf, so they're fairly narrow, and they've got all these little elements that make up whatever it is the theme of the model is. And in my case, I got the library of books, which has all these little elements that I've really enjoyed building. So a large portion of my weekend was actually spent doing this project, and it's very addictive. You can get started and the hours just tick by, and then you look up and you realise, Jesus, I've been sitting here for 3 hours doing this project. What is going on? Just the cute little details. Like I did this little map table with which had a couple of elements where you have to actually build the books. So what you do is you cut out a piece of paper, you fold it into a concertina pattern, and then you wrap a book cover around it and stick it all together, and it just looks so cute. All these little elements will go together into the box, and it's even got lighting as well, and my particular one has a sensor light so that when you walk into the library it will light up. The lighting part of it is going to be very, very complex. I'm not looking forward to that stage, but I am moving along quite well with it. I have built 2 of the walls, and all the elements are starting to go in, like shelves and cabinets and what have you, but I think they're just the cutest thing ever, and it's a new hobby that has prompted me to order another one, and my wife is getting into it as well. She bought a garden themed little book nook herself, and she finished it really quickly because there were cardboard elements which made it a little bit easier, but this particular book nook of mine, it's all made from wood, and it's just fantastic quality. So thanks, Eric, for the most awesome gift. Absolutely love it, and I'll be talking more about book nooks as time goes on, especially when I do my next one, and I'll show you the finished product when I'm finished building it as well. So they are a fantastic idea, and there are so many good ones out there. I'm thinking between a tarot one and an ancient Egyptian themed one. So not quite sure which one I'm going to order yet, but we'll see how that goes. Alright, so let's move on to some show and tell, shall we? Now, I've wanted to share this particular item with you for a couple of weeks, and I've managed to forget to put it on a couple of weekly videos, but it is on this one, and I wanted to share with you some news that Hodder and Stoughton are going to be releasing special hardback editions of Stephen King's novels, which I'm really, really excited about. The flagship novel they are releasing, of course, is Carrie, and it's going to celebrate the 50th anniversary of its release. And just have a look at this cover art. It is absolutely beautiful. I think it's going to be naked cloth bound, which I hope it is. I have pre-ordered this already. It is due to be delivered to me next month, which is absolutely fantastic. It's not too far away. I will be opening it live on the channel as well, so you can share my excitement when I open this thing. And this one actually has a new foreword by Margaret Atwood, which is really cool. Now, they're going to be releasing Salem's Lot next year, The Shining in 2027. I can't wait for that one. And they're going to be putting out The Stand and Night Shift in 2028. And it's just a really affordable way for me to finally get some special editions of Stephen King's books, and just can't wait for this. I'm really, really, really excited. Another book I have bought recently that I wanted to share with you, which is very intriguing to me, is a debut novel from Gareth Brown called The Book of Doors, which is where I believe a bookstore owner, I'll read the back of this to you. New York bookseller Cassie Andrews lives quietly, sharing an apartment with her best friend Izzy, and yet she feels something is missing from her life. Then a favourite customer gives her an old and rather curious book. At the very front there is a handwritten message. This is the Book of Doors. Hold it in your hand, and any door is every door. Cassie is about to discover that the Book of Doors is a special book, a magic book, a book that bestows extraordinary abilities on whoever possesses it. Soon she will learn that there are other magic books out there that can also do wondrous or dreadful and terrifying things. Because where there is magic, there is power, and there are those who will stop at nothing to possess it. Suddenly, Cassie and Izzy are confronted by violence and danger. The only person who can help them is Drummond Fox, a man fleeing his own demons but who has a secret library of magical books hidden in the shadows for safekeeping. Because there is someone out there, nameless and evil, who is hunting them all, because this book is worth killing for. This is something I'm hoping to read very soon. Now, next week's reading, I'm hoping to either read that, or I'm hoping to get into Death Star, my next Star Wars Expanded Universe read. I have read 3 books last year, and I want to continue with this segment, and can't wait to read this one as well. And the other choice I also have for next week is The Glass Box by, I can't pronounce the author's name, so I'm not going to say that, but The Glass Box looks interesting as well, so I've got some choices to make between now and then. So who knows what I'll pick up. But at the same time, I will be moving through the Well of Ascension, and I hope to be finished by next week, hopefully. All right, now let's get on to some movies as well that my wife and I are starting to get into the habit of just having some movie nights and catching up on movies we haven't seen or haven't seen for a while, and we've decided to watch a few retro titles. And the two movies we watched this week were Sylvester Stallone in Over the Top, an absolute arm wrestling classic. Absolutely love watching this one. I've seen it many, many times, and it's one of my favourite Stallone films of all time, and Jen enjoyed it as well. And then, of course, we also watched The Never-Ending Story, which I haven't seen that for years. And you know what, guys? It's amazing how well the movie stacks up 40 years later. And, it's just got that magical quality about it that gives you chills when Bastian rides the luck dragon at the end and chases down the bullies. I mean, it's a really good movie moment. But, hoping to watch a few more movies and just share that with you in my weekly updates. But there you go. That is it for my weekly update. Thank you very much for watching. If you like and subscribe, I'll promise to deliver the best content I can. Offer up any feedback in the comments below as per usual, and I'd be more than happy to engage you about that. But until the next video, guys, happy reading.